Michael Jackson died on the 25th of June, 2009. But 18 hours before, at 2 a.m., he made one final call to Prince. The man he'd competed with for decades. The man he'd never admitted he respected. "You were always free," Michael said. "I never was, but you were right about everything." That call lasted 4 minutes, changed Prince forever. And 7 years later, when Prince died, they found proof that Michael had been trying to reach him one more time, through a letter Prince never opened. The 25th of June, 2009, 2:17 a.m. Paisley Park, Minneapolis. Prince was in his studio alone, working on arrangements for an upcoming show, the way he often did in the middle of the night. His private line rang, the one only about 20 people in the world had. Prince looked at it. Unknown number. He almost didn't answer, but something made him pick up. "Hello." Silence on the other end, not dead air, someone breathing, hesitating, then a voice, soft, unmistakable. Prince froze. He knew that voice. Knew it instantly, even though he hadn't heard it directed at him in over 2 decades. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, Prince's only real rival. The one person who'd matched him in talent, in fame, in cultural impact. They'd never been friends. Had barely spoken since the mid-'80s. There was respect, had to be, between two artists at that level, but also distance competition. Comparison, the media pitting them against each other constantly. Who is better, Michael or Prince? As if art was a sport, as if genius could be ranked. Prince had always refused to engage. "I am not competing with Michael," he'd say in interviews. "I am competing with myself." But the rivalry existed anyway, felt by everyone around them, felt probably by them too, even if they wouldn't admit it. The last time they'd spoken, really spoken, was 1987. A brief conversation backstage at some awards show. Polite, professional. Distant, and now, 25 years later, Michael was calling. At 2 a.m., "Yeah, it is me," Michael said. His voice sounded tired, strained, not the high, bright voice from his records. Something heavier, older. "I know it is late. I am sorry. I needed to talk to you." Prince sat down. "Are you okay?" "I don't know. Maybe not." A long pause. "I've been thinking about you a lot lately, about us, about everything we never said to each other." "Mike, what is going on?" "Just listen, okay? I need to say this. I don't know if I'll get another chance." Prince listened, silent. Something in Michael's voice told him this wasn't casual. "I've been jealous of you," Michael said. "For years I never told anyone, but I was. Jealous of me, of your freedom. The way you did everything on your own terms, changed your name, fought the labels, owned your masters. You were always free, Prince. Even when they tried to control you, you stayed free." Michael's voice cracked. "I was never free. Never. From age 5, someone's been controlling me. My father, Barry Gordy, managers, labels. They owned me, and I never fought back the way you did. I just complied, smiled, danced." Prince didn't know what to say. This wasn't the Michael Jackson the world saw. This was someone broken. "I watched you fight Sony," Michael continued. "Watched you write slave on your face. Watched you refuse to release music until they gave you control. And I thought you were crazy. Throwing away money, destroying your career. But you weren't. You were right. You knew what they were doing to us, that we were just products, and you refused to accept it." "Mike, let me finish. Please." Michael took a breath. "I wish I'd been braver. Wish I'd fought like you, but I was scared of losing everything. So I gave them what they wanted, and now I don't even own my own music. They own Michael Jackson. I am just performing him." Prince felt his chest tighten. He'd never heard Michael like this, never heard anyone sound this lost. "It is not too late," Prince said. "You can still fight, still take control." Michael laughed, bitter. "Maybe. I don't know. I am tired, Prince, so tired. This tour, these comeback shows, I don't know if I can do it. Don't know if I have anything left." "Then don't do it. Cancel, rest. Figure out what you really want." "I can't. Too many people depending on me, too much money involved, too much." He stopped. "I am trapped, and I know it, and I hate it, and I hate that you were right all along." Silence, just breathing on both ends of the line. Then Michael said something that would haunt Prince forever. "If something happens to me, if I don't make it through this, I need you to tell people something. Tell them Prince was right. Tell them the music should belong to the artists, not the corporations. Tell them we were slaves in expensive chains." "Mike, what are you talking about? Nothing's going to happen to you. You don't know that." I feel like something's coming, something I can't stop. And if it does, I need you to carry the message. Finish what we both started. Free the music. We'll talk tomorrow, Prince said, urgency in his voice now. I'll fly to law. We'll figure this out together. You don't have to do this alone. Thank you, Michael whispered, for listening, for being you. I should have called you years ago, should have told you I respected you, admired you. You were always the brave one. Mike. The line went dead. Prince stared at the phone, tried calling back. No answer, tried again. Nothing. He told himself it was fine. They'd talk tomorrow. He'd fly to law. They'd fix whatever this was. He didn't know there would be no tomorrow. Have you ever had a conversation that felt like goodbye but you didn't realize it until too late? Ever heard someone's pain and thought you'd have time to help them? That is where Prince was. And by the next afternoon, time had run out. Share this story if you've ever missed a final chance to say something important, because what happened next would break Prince and change how the world understood both legends forever. 18 hours later, the 25th of June, 2009, 2:26 p.m. Prince was booking a flight to Los Angeles when his phone rang. A number he recognized. One of Michael's people. Prince, I am so sorry. Michael is gone. He died this afternoon. The world stopped. Everything stopped. What number? I just talked to him. Last night, he was fine. We were going to, I am so sorry. He went into cardiac arrest. They couldn't save him. Prince hung up. Saturday in silence. The conversation from 2 a.m. replaying in his head. If something happens to me, Michael had known. Somehow he'd known. And that call wasn't just a conversation. It was a goodbye. A final confession. A passing of the torch, and Prince had missed it. Had told him they'd talk tomorrow, had promised to help. But tomorrow had never come. Prince didn't leave his room for 3 days, didn't eat, barely slept. Just sat with the weight of that call, with Michael's words echoing endlessly. You were always free. I never was. When Prince finally emerged, his band noticed immediately. He was different, quieter, more withdrawn, like something inside him had broken. He called me, Prince finally told them. The night before he died. Called to tell me he'd been jealous. That I was right about the music industry, that if anything happened to him, I should finish the fight. He was saying goodbye, Prince whispered, and I didn't understand. I told him we'd talk tomorrow, but there was no tomorrow. 7 years later, the 21st of April 2016, Prince died at Paisley Park. Suddenly, unexpectedly, leaving the world in shock. As his estate was being processed, lawyers and executors went through everything, his vaults, his personal effects, his business documents. In a safe in Prince's private office, they found a metal box, locked. When they opened it, inside were personal items, photos, letters, things Prince had kept close. And at the bottom, an envelope, yellowed with age, sealed. The return address was from Michael Jackson, but no date, no postmark, like it had been hand-delivered. On the front, in Michael's handwriting, for Prince, please read. The envelope had never been opened. The seal was intact. Prince had received this letter, had put it in his safe, and had died without ever reading it. The estate executors opened it inside. 3 handwritten pages. Michael's distinctive handwriting. Looping, careful. Dear Prince, if you are reading this, something has happened to me. I don't know when. I don't know how. But I feel it coming, and I need to tell you things I should have said years ago. You were right. About everything, about the labels. About ownership, about freedom. I watched you fight, and I was too scared to join you. I thought playing along would keep me safe, keep me loved, keep me relevant. But it just made me a prisoner. They own my music, my name, my face. Everything I created belongs to someone else, and I hate it, and I hate that I let it happen. You were brave enough to say no, to walk away, to sacrifice money and fame for control. I admired that, envied it. And I should have told you. If I go first, if you are reading this because I am gone, I need you to finish what we started. Both of us, in different ways, were fighting the same fight. You did it publicly, I did it privately, in contracts and clauses nobody understood. But we were both trying to free the music, free the artists, stop the corporations from owning human creativity. Please don't stop. Keep fighting. And when you talk about this fight, tell people I was with you. Tell them Michael Jackson and Prince stood for the same thing, even if we never stood together. I am sorry we weren't friends. Sorry I let competition and pride keep us apart. You were my brother in this, my partner. And I wish I'd told you while I had the chance. If I am gone, and you are still here, finish this. For both of us. Your brother Michael the executor sat in silence. This letter, this message, had been in Prince's safe for years. Since when, 2009, earlier, there was no way to know. But Prince had never opened it, had kept it sealed, locked away. Had he been waiting, saving it, or had he been unable to face it? Nobody would ever know. Two legends, both fighting the same battle, both alone, and both gone before they could unite. When Michael's letter was discovered in 2016, the Prince estate faced a decision. Make it public, keep it private. The letter was intensely personal, a conversation between two legends that was never supposed to be shared. They chose to share it, with Michael's estate, with his family. To show them that in his final thoughts, Michael had been thinking about Prince, about their shared fight, about uniting for something bigger than rivalry. Michael's mother, Catherine, cried when she read it. Michael always talked about Prince, she said. Always said he wished they'd been friends, wished they'd worked together. This letter, this is Michael's heart. The two estates started talking about Michael's final call, about Prince's reaction, about the letter Prince never opened, about the fight both men had been waging separately. And they decided if Michael and Prince couldn't unite in life, their legacies would unite in death. In 2018, the Jackson estate and the Prince estate jointly announced the Freedom of Music Foundation, a non-profit organization dedicated to educating artists about ownership, master rights, and creative control. The mission statement quoted both Michael's letter and Prince's life work. Music should belong to the artists who create it. No corporation should own human creativity. No label should control an artist's voice. The foundation offers free workshops, legal clinics, and educational resources to emerging artists, teaching them what Michael and Prince learned too late, or in Prince's case, learned early but fought alone. Contract literacy, copyright law, publishing rights, master ownership, everything young artists need to know before signing away their futures. Michael and Prince both fought this fight, explained the foundation's director at the launch. One publicly, one privately, one successfully, one tragically not, but they both knew the system was broken, and they both wanted to fix it. The foundation operates in 40 countries, has worked with over 50,000 artists, has prevented countless exploitative contracts, has helped independent artists retain ownership of their work. Every workshop begins with the story, Michael's 2 a.m. call, Prince's grief, the unopened letter. Two kings who never made peace but shared the same dream. If they couldn't work together in life, the director says, we're making sure they work together now. In 2019, Quincy Jones gave an interview to Billboard. Asked about Michael and Prince, he spoke carefully, emotionally. I worked with Michael for years, watched him grow, watched the industry consume him, and I watched Prince fight that same industry from the outside. Two different approaches, same war. Did they understand each other? Quincy shook his head. Not until the end, and by then, it was too late. Michael called Prince before he died. Did you know that? Called to tell him he'd been right, that the fight was worth it, that ownership mattered more than fame. Prince never recovered from that call, never forgave himself for not understanding it was goodbye. And when Prince died, they found Michael's letter, unopened, like neither of them could quite reach each other, even when they tried. Quincy's eyes were wet. Two kings, both brilliant, both trapped in different ways, both alone when they shouldn't have been. That is the tragedy. Not that they competed, but that they competed instead of collaborating. The industry wanted them separate, easier to control that way, and by the time they realized it, time had run out. What do you think they'd say if they could see the foundation? Quincy smiled through tears. I think they'd say it is about damn time, that this is what they were fighting for all along. Not for themselves, they were already legends. For the kids coming up, for the next generation, for everyone who'd be offered that contract and told to sign without reading. Michael and Prince are finally on the same side, finally working together. It just took dying for them to do it. There is one more piece to this story, the final call. The 2 a.m. conversation between Michael and Prince on the 25th of June, 2009. It was recorded. Prince's phone system at Paisley Park automatically archived all calls to his private line. Security measure, which means that 4-minute conversation, Michael's confession, his fears, his final words, exists as an audio file. The Prince estate has it, has preserved it, has kept it secure, and has never released it. Some things are sacred, an estate representative said, when asked about it. That conversation was between Michael and Prince. Yes, it is historical. Yes, people want to hear it. But it was private. It was goodbye. It was two men being vulnerable with each other when they'd spent decades being competitors. We won't release it. Not now. Maybe not ever. Because some farewells belong only to the people having them. Fans have begged. Historians have requested access. Media outlets have offered money. The answer is always no. Michael trusted Prince with that call, the estate explains. Trusted him with his fears and regrets and confessions. Releasing it would be betraying that trust. Prince is gone. Michael is gone. But their privacy, their humanity deserves protection. The recording sits in a climate, controlled vault, preserved, protected. Unheard by anyone except the few who've authenticated it. Michael's voice, Prince's silence. 4 minutes of honesty between legends who'd spent 25 years apart, and it will stay sealed. A secret between two kings who finally understood each other too late. If you've ever lost someone and wished you'd said more, if you've ever had a final conversation you didn't know was final, share this story. Because Michael and Prince's ending teaches us that time runs out, that rivalries are wastes, that saying what matters is more important than winning. So today, the Freedom of Music Foundation has changed tens of thousands of lives. Artists who would have signed predatory contracts now understand their rights. Taylor Swift's fight to re-record her albums. Inspired partly by Prince's legacy, amplified by the foundation. Artists speaking openly about ownership, following the path Michael and Prince carved. Every time an artist says, "I own my masters," they're honoring Michael and Prince, said a music industry lawyer. In 2023, the foundation partnered with Berklee College of Music to create a mandatory course, Artist Rights and Ownership. Every music student learns contract law. We're making sure no one else has to learn the way they did, said the program director. Michael lost his masters. Prince fought for decades. Both paid enormous prices. We're making sure the next generation doesn't have to. The 25th of June, 2009, 2 a.m., Michael Jackson called Prince. "You were always free," he said. "I never was, but you were right about everything." 4 minutes later, the call ended. 18 hours later, Michael died. Prince spent 7 years carrying that goodbye he didn't understand. Then, in 2016, Prince died. In his safe, they found Michael's letter, unopened. "Finish what we started. Free the music, your brother, Michael." Two legends who competed for decades, who never quite connected despite fighting the same battles. But their deaths accomplished what their lives couldn't: unity, collaboration, a shared mission. The Freedom of Music Foundation exists because Michael and Prince couldn't work together in life. 50,000 artists have benefited. Hundreds of thousands more will. The recording of that final call remains sealed. Michael's confession, Prince's silence. 4 minutes of truth between titans. Some conversations are too sacred to share, the estates say. That call wasn't for us. It was for them. Two kings finally honest with each other. Michael admitted his jealousy, his regrets, his admiration. Prince listened. Didn't know he was hearing goodbye. But from that tragedy came transformation. Two estates merging to create something neither man accomplished alone. Real change in the music industry. Artists own their work now because Michael and Prince's estate said it matters. Young musicians understand contracts because their deaths proved ignorance costs everything. The foundation continues their work. Teaching, protecting. Every artist it helps is a tribute to Michael and Prince. And in that vault, the recording sits preserved. Michael's final words to Prince. 4 minutes that changed everything. Two legends, separated by life, united by death, fighting forever for the freedom they both deserved. The recording will stay sealed. The letter is public. The foundation continues. Michael knew it at 2 a.m. on the 25th of June, 2009. Prince learned it in the 7 years that followed. And now, through the foundation, 50,000 artists know it too. The music is free, or freer than it was, because two kings who never worked together anyway. In death, in legacy, forever.